On this episode of Imagine, Create, Inspire.
And so it was kind of like somebody said, "Hey, baby, the world's on fire." And it's like, well, what if the world was on fire? Or maybe it is, because every other day it feels like something's just about to drop. And, you know, maybe just capturing that mentality of doing things right when given the opportunity.
You are listening to Imagine, Create, Inspire, the podcast. Join host Bruce Andrews in conversations with creatives. Every artist has a story, and the struggle is real to stay inspired and in the flow. Join in the conversation by leaving us your comments, and thanks for listening.
Welcome back to the podcast, Imagine, Create, and Inspire. 3 words in a very deliberate sequential order. Imagination leads to creation. Creation leads to inspiration. And inspiration, when you properly apply it, it produces hope. And hope is a commodity. Hope is fuel for the human soul. The opposite of imagination, creation, inspiration might well be stagnation, inflammation, and polarization. We got a lot of that, enough of that stuff. So I'd like to have conversations about imagination, how it begets art. And that's why today we're going to get into the woods, literally.
Yeah.
So I got with me the Woods Band. Yo, guys, where are you guys right now?
We're in Nashville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
What part of Nashville? Is this all at your house, Dan, or?
This is an undisclosed location in Donaldson, just outside of Nashville. We are right next to the Cumberland River and about a half mile from the Grand Ole Opry.
Sweet. So it's a creative, fertile territory for creation, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
How'd you guys end up there, man? Before I end up there together, I mean, it's obviously some kind of chemistry happened.
Maybe we go in chronological order, and Raquel got here first. So maybe you begin.
I'm the oldest and wisest, turns out. No, not true. But yeah, I moved here a while ago. I'm from Canada, and I moved down to Nashville with this crazy dream to write songs and sing them.
I actually am the youngest in the band. But I was born in Michigan and played music there, grew up as a little kid, and then when I was an early teenager, I moved to Texas, and I got my butt whipped into shape and played a lot of music, and after a few years of playing in Texas, I decided Nashville was the place to be, you know, all the glitter and dreams that are here, you know.
Just picked up and moved.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Right on,
easy
man.
as that.
How about you, Dan?
I feel like you underplayed the fact that you've been doing music your whole life, because music found me later than both of you.
True.
It's true. I came out of the womb singing, quite literally.
That's what they called crying. And no, I mean, I was always probably more of a listener until maybe mid high school when I started picking up music, and it was just a hobby until maybe about 7 years ago. I found out I wasn't bad at singing, so I figured I'd move to Nashville and learn what there was to learn, which I figured there's a lot. Still learning, but
So,
focusing on the songwriting and singing stuff and doing it. So.
I mean, in a nutshell, all 3 of you guys did that dream where you just picked up and moved to Nashville.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Living
So
the dream.
So my old man take, you know, when I listened to the music, somebody turned me on to you guys, our mutual friend Kyle Mims.
Yeah.
So I started following your live streams and stuff like that. Loved it. So I'm like, I'm thinking, if this was 1972, which was a great year for me. So I loved a trip back there. This is 1972, and I was an executive with Capricorn Records, which I'm not. But if I was, you'd be the kind of band I'd sign. I mean, because you got this vibe that was, you know, the Marshall Tucker band. Of course, they weren't on that label necessarily, but except at one point. But anyway, you get what I'm saying, like Wet Willie, Marshall Tucker, or the Allman Brothers.
Right.
I mean, you guys are channeling that stuff, and you don't seem to be that old. How'd that come about?
I guess the cool thing about the band is it's the culmination of like what we all overlap with our musical interests, and I'd say we probably all got that kind of classic rock influence from the music we grew up listening to with our parents. And we all like an array of different tunes, but that classic rock is kind of what brings us together and what makes this sound.
So fair to say you all got it from your baby boomer parents?
Probably, yeah.
That's for sure.
And, you know, it's safe to say we wouldn't be where we are or have the sound without the music from, say, 1972, right? That is a big influence on us.
Yeah.
It is safe to say. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, or admitting it, or confessing to it, or whatever the right word is. So, you know, your songwriting process, man. I love your lyrics to the tunes I've listened to, and so who writes the lyrics?
Well, you know, I think I probably take the majority of that task on, but I think the songwriting process is just, I think everyone always asks this sort of question where it's like, how do you write songs? It's like, I mean, sometimes we're all sitting together and we write a song just on the fly. Sometimes, you know, you're up in the middle of the night and the song idea comes to you, and then that's the way that song got written or started. And then we're in Nashville, so, you know, there's probably, I don't know, at least 10,000 songwrites going on every single day in Nashville, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the songs are just dreamt up, just out of thin air most of the time, so.
And I feel like once we know a song fits us and fits our sound, a big part of the magic is us making it into our sound, the way we deliver it, the way we sing it in harmony. There's a lot of care and crafting that goes into, you know, how you get to hear those words that you hear on the track, because we do a lot of vocal arranging, and that's kind of the essence of the Woods, you know.
Yeah, and I take it your desire is, or your primary desire is, to play your own stuff, right, as a band.
Yeah, for sure. We love playing the original tunes, and I think we're getting away with it.
We're getting away with it. There's a lot of opportunity in Nashville as well to play cover band stuff, and we've been working really hard to just mostly play our original music, and it's been really cool, just the feedback that we're getting, and it feels like, well, actually, funny story, we did a gig recently where we were asked to play more covers. And I feel like we didn't get very good fan engagement.
Yeah.
And it was like, we really, I think, are our best when we get to be ourselves.
Right.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you brought that up. I mean, that's essentially what we're about. And this going to bring you down January 27th to Columbiana to what we call Song Theater. And it literally was designed for this scenario. I mean, we didn't want 400 seats on purpose. We got 216 fixed seats. It's all about having a great listening experience, and you know, for the band, hopefully the monitor experience is reflective of what the audience is hearing, front of house and that sort of thing. So get a really good chemistry going between you and the audience. And you know, I always like to say that we want to feel like we're presenting the next big thing or the next cool thing, and I believe in this case we are with regard to country rock. But
Wow.
Is that how you guys would categorize yourself? I mean, if you had to do it in 2 or 3 words, I mean, is country rock, is that a good description?
I dig it.
I like anything that people call us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, at first they couldn't figure out what to call the Eagles, so take it as
I was going to say, I mean,
You
yeah,
have a point.
that's good company.
that's right. Well, y'all want to play a tune and sort of maybe in this context, tell us how you crafted the tune or what's behind.
Yeah, we should play
Give people a
tune.
taste. Yeah.
Let's see. What's a good tune to play them and maybe have some context to?
What about that World on Fire? Where'd that come from?
Say we could do The World's on Fire because that's our debut single.
Or as we say down here, on fire.
On Fire, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the first tunes we all really did together, and it's one of the earliest songs that came about. That I think we've been doing it for so long. It is interesting when we get asked where it come from, because we really have to think back and be like, wow, what are the origins of this song?
Yeah, it kind of just was birthed out of a very organic, would you say, like song write, but like just hang with musician friends and you start playing some tunes and you start singing whatever words come to mind. And the fun thing about writing songs is you don't know what you say sometimes, and you're like, well, wait, what did you just say? And so it was kind of like somebody said, hey, baby, the world's on fire. And it's like, well, what if the world was on fire? Or maybe it is, because every other day it feels like something's just about to drop. And, You know, maybe just capturing that mentality of doing things right when given the opportunity.
That's what, yeah.
So that's kind of what we're all about anyway, as the Woods. So we figured it'd be a good flagship song for us. 1, 2, 1. Hey baby, the world's on fire. Would we do things right if it's sin and a night? Yeah, baby, it's up in flames. Will we get things straight with the love we make? Do you feel like me? Don't wanna wait to see. Yeah, baby, I got to know what your one desire if the world's on fire. Love me, hold me, we'll be hotter than the world outside. Kiss me like you know me, girl, then we'll know everything will be alright. Hey baby, it's getting close. As the story goes, we got a rock to roll. Yeah, baby, the room's ablaze. Ain't no escape, but hey, either way, do you feel like me? Don't wanna wait to see. Yeah, baby, I got to know what you want desire if the world's on fire. Love me, hold me, we'll be hotter than the world outside. Kiss me like you know me, girl, then we'll know everything will be alright. Love me, hold me, we'll be hotter than the world outside. Kiss me like you know me, girl, then we'll know everything will be alright. Hey baby, the world's on fire. Will we do things right if it's sin and a night? Yeah, baby, it's up in flames. Would we get things straight with the love we make?
Hey man, that was great. That was
Thank you.
like butter. It was great. that harmony was like molasses. It was awesome. So,
Yeah, it's slow moving because it's the morning, you know.
well, you know, ain't nothing wrong with molasses. All slow moving is sweet and all that good stuff.
Alright. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It really was good, man. So during the pandemic, when you guys were together, right, for the shutdown, making air quotes, the shutdown,
Yeah.
you guys. So you guys seem to me to be real amenable and friendly with the live stream format and all that. So I mean, in some ways, was the shutdown a creative time for you guys? You gained some following.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it was productive, in the sense that we definitely made the best use of our time. And I think we just wanted to do something, and in that just being like, well, we don't want to just sit around and do nothing. We found creativity, but
creativity is born in boredom.
born out of boredom.
Or boredom or adversity. It's certainly not more comfort, to your point.
Right.
Meaning, like, when we're bored, we think of things to do, right?
Right.
So I mean, that's just normal. That's why everyone's on their phones all the time.
And
Nobody
more
wants to be
importantly,
bored.
there's a lot of music in Nashville, as you know, but there's a lot of artists and their bands and hiring musicians and putting their music together for, live consumption. And to do what we do with the three of us, it's like there's three singers. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of repetition to get this stuff to where we can do it in our sleep. And so I think, though we were creative, we also put in the reps in the gym while we were shut down, and that got us on a level where I'll say it's easier now for us to do this thing and work together. We kind of learned everybody's idiosyncrasies, and more importantly, when we all come together, how do we get the best product out of it? And I think we figured that out. We streamlined that.
Now, I asked this in ignorance. Are you all single, or are you married, or what's the difference?
None of us are single.
None of us are single.
So you're all married
To our guitars.
To our music.
to your music. But none of you are single. So, I mean, you have other considerations if you choose to hit the road, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, because I like Raquel said, alluded to it earlier about playing cover music and that sort of thing. I mean, obviously you guys are accomplished enough. You could stay in some city elsewhere where it's not as competitive, musically speaking, and make a good living as playing weddings and stuff like that. And you've chosen to face the fire, as it were.
That's right.
Was that a conscious thing, or do you ever wonder sometimes, well, could we be more competitive if we weren't in a situation where the guy at the gas station that pumps the gas is playing the guitar as good as anybody else, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's not for me. I think I don't think I would. I mean, musically, I think I can only do this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a good enough singer to do wedding band stuff or any of that. Maybe you guys could.
But we definitely all moved here to achieve a higher level, right? And in the city, the infrastructure, the music infrastructure and network is here, and the ceiling is so high. I think a really interesting side effect of that is we leave Nashville, and you notice the value of your act goes up, the value of your art goes up, and when you do get to smaller towns, people are so blown away and so grateful and so intrigued. Where in Nashville, I mean, it's a good thing, but there's just so much talent here where it might go a little more unnoticed or maybe be expected of the artist. So we do notice the second we leave Davidson County, everybody seems to love us and be interested in us and our story and our sound and all that stuff. That's why we're coming down to see y'all.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, that's what the prophet's never accepted in his hometown, that sort of thing. Kind of has a lot of truth to it, a lot of elements.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I have to write a song about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Who's this Jesus guy? Didn't he come up with Uncle Ed? That kind of thing. It's like always familiarity breeds contempt. It's not kind of connected to that, or not necessarily contempt, but I've seen those guys before. They're just But yeah, man, you guys got
a way of doing that. Exactly.
How'd you guys? You told me how you each individually got to Nashville. How'd you find each other? I mean, was it just through a?
Yeah, I mean, I love this question because we don't really have an answer, because it'd be like how do you know anyone in your industry that you kind of run into them every day. Gotcha. So the circles are always spinning here, and we run into people left and right, and so just being musicians and having some overlapping friends, it's like, hey, what are you doing? You like this kind of music? You want to do this thing? What do you got some time? You're a good singer. You should. So I'd say Nashville's just like that. It's such an easy place to meet people, especially in the music industry, and pretty quickly if they're like-minded. I think. So we all have our friends that our groups overlapped, and that's kind of how we came together.
Well, cool, man. So what can we expect when we see you in Columbiana? Do you guys tell stories between your tunes? I mean, or do you like to run some of the tunes on like a jam band might, that kind of thing? Certainly your music lends itself to it.
Yeah, I think we're really excited to come down to Columbiana because the way you just described the theater, I think that is our forte, is just like our live stream kind of setup is what you see is what you get. We're gonna, I mean, I don't know. I don't really think we're funny, but we tend to make the crowd laugh
Somehow.
I don't. Maybe we're putting down music and starting a comedy act, but we have a good ball of fun out of the three of us, and I guess, like you said, we have some chemistry, so it definitely portrays itself. But the songs will be lengthened. Yeah, the banter will be present.
We all love good songwriting. We love great musicianship, and we love great singing, especially harmony singing. I think those are three values that we all share, and that definitely comes out in our concert, as well as the respect we have for the greats and the concerts we watched growing up. So we really try to draw you into that experience. And I think a listening room scenario with us doing our acoustic act is it's a good night of entertainment. And I think something that's really special that we touched on earlier is that it doesn't need to involve a bunch of covers. Granted, we'll throw the audience, a bone. We know it's tough listening to all brand new music all night. But at the same time, we really pride ourselves in the ability to engage and take people on a journey,
Right on, man. That's what we're all about. So play one more tune for us that's exemplary of what you just said. Got emphasis on the harmony and the storyline and that kind of thing. Your pick, brother. And then we'll invite everybody to come to the show.
Well, should we do If You Really Love Me? We got this other tune out there. This is just one of the 2 songs we put out so far. So it's called If You Really Love Me, and it's a whole different vibe than that first song, which we like to make it. We like to keep it exciting. So you keep telling me you love me. Well, I kind of think it's a lie. You keep telling me you love me. You say you'll cross your heart and hoping to die. Well, I keep waiting on you to drop on down, smack dead on the ground. Oh, you say telling me you need me, but you're running out of time. You keep telling me you need me, oh, but you don't know what you're doing when it's eating me up inside. So I keep waiting on you to drop on down, smack dead on the ground. Oh, you say you tell the truth, you take me as a rule. There ain't no stopping now. You got a wicked mind and a heart of stone. If you really love me, why am I feeling alone?
Yeah, man. Hey, that was tremendous, man.
Thank you.
Great lyrical hook. I mean, and it fit the key, and it just like great songwriting. I just loved it, brother.
Thank you.
Great, man. So, Leland, are you classically trained, or is that your? How'd you learn how to play the guitar?
Yeah, I kind of have both sides of the coin. I played a lot of rock and blues when I was young. And once I became a teenager, got my learner's permit, my driver's license, I was playing honky tonks around Texas. So I did the barroom thing for a while and the dance hall thing. And then I went to school at the University of North Texas, which has a fantastic music program. And I studied classical and jazz while I was there. So I've kind of seen both sides of it, you know.
Yeah, man. You sounded great, but you said you were going to Django there a little bit on that.
Yeah, definitely some gypsy jazz vibes in there.
Yeah. So Dan, you said, you kind of downplayed your voice a minute ago, but I mean, you got a really good signature voice. It don't sound like everybody else. So you just learned to sing in the shower, or are you trained, brother?
Yeah, I'm trained off of Bob Dylan exclusively. He gave me all the confidence in the world to be a singer.
I feel that way when I play the harmonica. So say that.
There's no wrong notes on the harmonica.
That's true.
Just breathe in and breathe out.
Yeah.
You're Bob. Yeah. Well, see, you sound great, bro. So how about you, Raquel? Are you a product of a lot of lessons, or did you just learn on your own?
I grew up taking guitar lessons and mostly vocal. I did some vocal lessons. I actually had vocal nodes when I was in high school, meaning I overused my voice. So I had to go back and relearn how to sing with an opera singer, actually. My opera is terrible, just so you know. And then I didn't end up going to college. I really wanted to be in Nashville writing songs. It's funny looking back, I was very torn at the time if I was going to go to school to study guitar like Leland, but I ended up just coming to Nashville and spending a lot of my time writing and going on the road and opening for some artists. And then the little mandolin, I'll try to make this quick. I went to LA on a writing trip a long time ago, and I wrote with this guy whose email address was like mandolinman909@gmail.com.
You just told everyone his email.
And he had he convinced me to buy a mandolin, and he would send me like Craigslist's like emails, be like, here's one you could buy. So I bought one. And I played it a little bit, but kind of put it away. And then when we all started playing together, we were playing acoustic a lot. And so I sort of dusted it off as something to kind of add to the band. And so, but fun note is I actually took my very first mandolin lessons from Gene Johnson from Diamond Rio. So
wow, cool. Yeah.
Kind of crazy. But again, I'm sort of more self-taught, and I don't know if I do it quite the bluegrass justice it deserves.
You play it in context. That, when I think back to the first times I noticed mandolins, like in maybe John Cougar Mellencamp, stuff like that. It was a comp, it was a rhythmic instrument, and that really was sort of a reintroduction of the instrument into that format. And so, it's just all about fitting the chemistry of the tune, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You guys do that well.
Yeah, that's true.
How you're unique, So you prefer to play with the band? I mean, if you had your druthers, you like to play with a full band or acoustic, or you like the texture of both?
We like to
go back and forth.
We go back and forth, and honestly, some songs are lean towards acoustic, and some we're like, well, we can't play that one if we don't have a band. Mm-hmm. So, but I think the nice thing about it is either way, the song has the three of us singing, and that's sort of the stamp of the music. So it translates either way, and it's sort of dependent on the circumstances of the venue, the listener, and all the above. So I like to think we could do it all if we need to. So.
Yeah. And on the right stage, the right venue, doing the electric band thing. Me and Raquel both play electric guitars, and we really go in and put on a good rock show. But there are definitely two sides to the band, and the acoustic thing is really rewarding in its own way too.
Gotcha. You guys embody our, I started out with the Imagine, Create, and Inspire, our credo. And so you guys embody that. And I think Raquel said earlier, or all of you said it in your own way, when we were faced with not doing anything, you did something. You moved forward, engaged your imagination rather than the opposite. And, out of that comes creation, and after that, inspiration, that sort of thing. And so you guys are great creators. I'll be looking forward to having you down in Columbiana at Song Theater. So anyway, anything you want to say in closing to the folks other than come down?
Well, yeah, I'm saying come on down and see us, because we're going to give you much more than what you got just today. And we're honestly really excited. It'll be our first show of the year.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it all and put on a great show. And if you like music, I can't imagine you won't like us. So I think we got something for everyone.
That's a great wrap.
Come on.
Come on, get into the woods.
Yeah, get into us.
Thanks for listening to Imagine, Create, Inspire, the podcast. For more information on the Shelby County Arts Council, please visit www.shelbycountyartscouncil.com.